Good afternoon. It's Friday afternoon, the 20th of May. There's about 50 minutes left in the market day, and this is Ron Brown, as you can tell by looking at the slide. Anyway, I'm going to go over some things and keep this relatively short. This is my standard risk disclaimer. Any stock, index, or ETF mentioned in this presentation is not a recommendation to buy or sell. All trading strategies are at your own risk. This is the way the NASDAQ comp looked last night at the close, and this is my commentary from this morning before the market opened. I just said the market gave up its gains late in the day to close down slightly as profit taking set in, and you can see that over here. I need to make that a red candle on this candlestick because the open was here, it traded up, and then at the end of the day, the last hour, it faded as traders took their intraday profits. I said to look at the large tech stocks from yesterday for as an example. NVDA, it was up early in the day, and by the end of the day, it had given it all back. And the futures were up this morning. It was a constructive day today. Would be a positive close in the upper 3/4 of the daily range. This would give us hope that a higher low is forming, but a weak close after a strong open would indicate traders are not willing to risk holding positions over the weekend. Now let's see what's happening. Well, this is a yearly daily chart of the NASDAQ comp. As you can see, here's what I feared would happen. You can see yesterday's here. And this is today's candle. What do we have? We had a very strong opening. It looked like this area was not going to be challenged. But what happened? As soon as the market opened, sellers came into the market and started selling. This candle actually came down and broke support. You can see there's a small wick on here. I'm sure traders are going to try to hold it. Well, I'm not sure, but I suspect traders are going to try to hold it above that closing or above that low there and try to prevent it from closing at a lower low. Now, it's already made the lower low today, but holding it above this level here would be somewhat of a victory, not much of a victory, but if this just continues to go down, we've clearly established a lower low, and if that happens, it probably means another leg down. Now I want to show you what I used NVIDIA as an example yesterday. Let's blow this up. This is exactly what I meant. Here it opened. Here was the open. Traded down a little bit, and then it had a pretty nice day up into the 177 area. Where did it close? 171. So this just goes to illustrate the danger of trying to bottom fish, especially when the broader market's in a severe downtrend. I'm going to go back to the comp, and I'm going to put this into perspective. I'm going to go in and load a study set. The 18, the 50, the 100, and the 200. When a market is trending down like this, with all of the moving averages headed down, it is just foolish to try to pick the bottom. But every day, optimism reigns, and traders try to pick the bottom. At least optimism has been reigning the past couple of days, because you can see it opened and it moved up, and then it collapsed. Same thing today. Here's the open, collapse. Yesterday, it actually opened down, but there was optimism because traders were trying to buy it here, and what happened? They got hurt. Just look how these fans, or this fan, is fanned out with the 200, the 100, the 50, and the 18. The further apart they are, the more momentum there is to the downside. Now we're actually off the lows of the day, as you can see on the candle. And if I go over here and look at the comp and the percent daily range, we're at 21%. So there is some buying coming in here at the end of the day. I doubt if it's going to amount to much, but you'll find out when the market closes. Now, rather than spending time trying to go long in this market, you should, if you're a short side trader or an options trader, to the downside. I've put a couple of tools in here. I'm going to go into my designer, and first of all, I think I'll go into the industries and rebuild the indexes in the group. It's rebuilding the industry groups. I just want to take a quick read on the industries, and then I'm going to show you some user smart groups. I'm going to go ahead and rebuild the user smart groups right now before I look at the industries. And what it's doing is pulling the data from Thinkorswim and giving me the current information. Now, what I'm going to be looking at are under my top user smart groups, I'm going to be looking at these bearish scans. But first of all, let's just take a quick look at the industries, see what's going on. I have to run up or go up to the top here. Index is up today. You can see that there are 12 up and 163 down. If you look up here at the top, what's up today? Telecom, steel, large pharma, generic pharma, funeral services, integrated oils. That's it. Let's look at that. Index is down, sorted on raw combo. See, these are the percentages down. You can see agricultural machinery is down 9.6. Department stores is down another 9%. Just continues to get hammered after Walmart and Target. And, well, they're all down. Those are department stores, not the big box stores. Let's take this all the way up, and I'm going to hit my space bar and type in mass. Okay, here it is down at number 64. What's this group down today? Down another 2.31%. Looking back 5 days, it's down over 21%. Just bring it up and you can see what this group looks like. So another terrible day in the market. I just looked over my other screen. There is some buying coming into the comp. Maybe they'll try to hold it above that line that I pointed out. Anyway, let's just go in here. I want to show you some user groups. And end of day bearish. These are optionable. 3 and 6 day moving average is setting up, and it brings all of the stocks that qualify up. But it's if you look here, you can see that it's going into a directory in my users group called the weekly OCC and CBOE active options, and these are options that are readily traded. Both of these go in here, and this goes in here too. These are bearish VCA flags, but these two use a combination of bearish candles and bearish VCA flags. So let's just go in here and see how these are doing today. Okay. Need to switch to my daily prospecting. And these are common stocks only. And here is one that is up and the others are down. Well, this is a buyout, so don't pay any attention to it. But let me just take a look here, and you can see why these stocks made this list. make this smaller. Let's just get a plain daily chart here also. The reason there was a signal yesterday is because there was both a negative no demand signal and also a black candle. And you can see that there's been resistance on this stock across here for several days. Look where the high is. That's why it was generated. Also, when you put it into context, look at the fan is to the downside. What we have here is a counter trend rally, and that counter trend rally may be petering out. I'm not going to go through all these. I'm just pointing out why they are included in this list. Black candle, black candle, black candle. No VPA flag, but the black candles allow this stock to be in this list. 3 black candles in a row. Put it into context. This stock is in a downtrend. Fan is negative. The 3 and the 6 were positive for a couple of days, but they've turned negative, or they're right on the line. Let's do one more. Actually, let's do the one that's down the most today. Advanced micro devices. This is today. This was the flag day before yesterday, which was a pseudo upthrust, but yesterday it was included in the list because of this negative doji right here. It's a black doji, so that's why it was included in the list. Also, put it in context. This stock's been going down. There was a counter trend rally up to this point, and then it failed. The dangers of trying to pick bottom. Now, all of these that I'm showing here, these are bearish candles that were setting up. In other words, the 3 had not crossed below the 6 yet. I'll just make this larger and zoom in on this. You can see that until today, the 3, the green line, was above the 6, the red line, but it's crossing over today. But there were negative candles and negative VPA flags, and that's why they show up in this group. Now let's go down to the next one. These are stocks that actually cross down. Go to this so you can see this. This is this folder, bearish cross down. There are 32 of them. Okay, yesterday, this is a 2-day window, yesterday or the day before, there was a bearish cross down, and you can see that it's continuing down. This was a green candle, but there was a negative VPA flag, a down bar after an upthrust. This confirms a weakness. So that was down from here. This is a follow-up to this VPA flag, and look what's happening with it today. Now let's look at NVDA is in here. So NVDA crossed in this 2-day window here. We'll make it large just so we can see it. Here it was positive. Here it turned negative. Remember, there's a 2-day window on this. So it went negative for 2 days, and now it's following through today. Context, once again, is down. Clearly down. Let's look at Southwest Airlines. It crossed over yesterday on a black candle, and it's continuing down today. Finally, the last group. These are VPA flags only. You can see that there are very few of them. But as I bring them up, here's your negative VPA flag yesterday on Qualcomm. You can see it right here. It was a no demand, a sign of weakness, and it's following through today. Now, there are some that are up today. Let's take a look at these. Penn National Gaming. This was a no demand flag, but this is closing or near its high of the day. Intraday percentage range is 95.45%. So obviously it's still a bottom fish. Put it into context. The trend is down, but it is basing. And it is up today. Let's take a look at Cisco. This must have been an earnings gap down on this daily chart over here. Look at the heavy volume now we have. Looks like an inside day today. It's inside the prior day's body. So there are bottom fishers coming in on this. Strength seen returning after a downtrend. Here's the signal from the VCA flag yesterday. But there's no follow through today. I certainly wouldn't be touching this. This is a one-day reaction. But traders evidently think that this was overdone yesterday. If I were to even consider a stock like this, I would put the stop below the low of this day right here and just see what happens. Let's do one more. Here's another one that's up. It's trading at 81% of its intraday range. Boy, talk about a downtrend. I have no idea why anybody would be buying this stock. You can see how useful this black chart is because instantly you see the context of a stock or an index or a market relative to the moving averages. It's easy to spot if a trend is still going down, especially with these histograms in here. If it's below the 3 and the 6, this will be red. If it's below the 6 and the 18, and the 8 and 18 versus the 50. Nothing positive about this. This is just hope. Now, that's all I want to show you on this, but I just want you to be aware that there are some bearish scans in here, and they're all based upon this folder. Right here, active options. And even though it says they are active options, a lot of these options have pretty wide bid-ask spreads, so you need to really be aware of that if you are playing the options. But I just directed these to this folder because I wanted to make sure that these are relatively liquid stocks. Now, I'm looking at another screen since I've been talking. There's actually been quite a bit of progress made here. And if you look over here, you can see that everybody who was shorting going into the weekend, now what's happening, it's options expiration also. What is happening is there are buyers coming in to the market, and the comp is only down 85, and it's trading at 52% of its daily range. Let's just go to my next chart, which is a 78-minute chart, and you can see what's happened over the last 78 minutes. Back here, this is 12:24, and we're currently at 13:42. With a few minutes to go in the market, and it looks like some of these shorts are having to be covered right now. I believe when I was talking before, NVDA was down $10. It's now down $6.50. So you can see how quickly things change. Now the comp is slipped back more than 100. Down more than 100 right now. So anyway, I'm going to end this video right now. I just really wanted to point out those user smart groups and take a look at the market. The one thing about market analysis is that everybody's got an opinion. You know this now. You can also see how rapidly things change. It looks like the bottom was really falling out today, and the trend is obviously strongly down, but Those who got short here, if they were just initiating their shorts down here, they've been whipsawed already. So it just changes so quickly. It's so dangerous that you always need to control your risk. If you're a long side trader only, you really shouldn't even consider playing this market because it's capital preservation time. Thanks for listening. I hope you have a good weekend, and let's hope things look up a little bit. If you are not an HCSI user or you don't belong to the Insider Club, if you find the commentary and techniques useful and interesting, you should give high growth stock software a try. And you can go to this link right here. It's https://www.highgrowthstock.com/order wp/trial.asp, or you can just go to the high growth stock website and you'll find a link to this link. But if you're not using the software, you should, because it's extremely powerful and you can do things with it that you can't do with other software. Thank you for listening. Let's hope for a better week next week. And as I'm signing off on this with 3 minutes left in the market day, the composite is only down 38 points. It was down well over 200 at one point in the day. Thank you for listening. Let's hope for a better week next week.